was just talking about because I didn't turn the indicators off, but to show you guys TEL in terms of the EMAs as well, something we take into consideration where we are, where we're getting wedged in, and XRP was doing that when we were talking about it as well, where you see, you know, we're getting into the cluster of, into that grip between the two. So where we have the, guys, I'm gonna get rid of this, so I hate when it just keeps, right, when we're kind of in between. So we've managed, TEL managed to pump all the way from, geez, whatever, .14 all the way to above the 200 EMA on the daily, insane pump. But then this was a deviation, it came back down, and then it's sticking you know, it's sticking in the smaller range right now. Somebody asked, is it still a good buy? Is it still a good thing to, you know, think about at those levels? And I will say, I believe TEL is a great buy. I think personally, you know, look at all the higher lows that's been printing. Obviously that's the daily RSI. It's still honestly a decent level for a nice 2x or even higher. You know, you can see where it is. I'm going to just zoom out for a second as well, obviously, and look at the weekly. Check my other indicators that I talked to you about. Why is this so funny like that? Oh yeah, because of the indicator. Reset the chart. So on the weekly, this is what we're looking at. Again, you know, that's just that thing that a lot of coins are doing. Now this is we're going to ignore this big wick here, but you're getting the idea that, you know, it went above this line, this trend line acted as a reflection level, and we're up and giving higher lows now. And back to the EMAs now on the weekly. So this is interesting because remember when I was talking about this cross, it's very tight. I think on the weekly, this is a very interesting level to look at. Look, it can give you a deviation from here. So a risk to reward ratio here. Let's just kind of give ourselves long position. We're entering here and we're going to, oh my God, I really hate when this happens, right? What we're going to have look at is, let's give ourselves, like, you know, up to this level as our spot bag stop loss, just kind of below, and that's support here, you know, that's just below this wick here. It's on a weekly, guys, so it's a little bit wider. So 10% though, I think on a weekly is just not really a lot. And looking at even getting up here, so that's nearly 1 to 10 here, because this is going to act obviously as an interesting resistance, right? I think TEL has a lot to give, and why not, you know, use this opportunity. I think it's doing something interesting. Let me just check something else. Obviously this, okay, get rid of that right now, because I like to kind of use this tool to get people to understand the risk to reward ratio, how you can calculate it, and where you see, you know, okay, this is what I'm risking, this is what is my return, this is what my reward is going to be, or my loss. No, that doesn't really work on weekly. So on the alpha trend VIP, we are seeing We're above the green line on the weekly. So it's clear anyway, guys, that this is, at the minute it's cooling off. It's doing some side work. I think it might take, a couple of days or even weeks to see this get up. But again, we're in very interesting times when things just keep popping out of nowhere. On the daily, it looks a little bit, it's like cutting off. I mean, try and get in this range, and you're giving yourself a nice RR. I think this will go from here. It's a coin to accumulate and think long term. And actually look on the daily, it's getting wedged in really above. Now if we're above the 200, above the 50. I like this. I was looking at RSI already. This is what I see, at least short term, is like, you can keep going up in a side action. I mean, comparing to Veracity, and they used to kind of do things together. So it was either TEL or either Veracity. Veracity made crazy, I think, was it 7x or even more. TEL hasn't done this yet, as far as I know. It has, obviously, like I said, we were looking at that, so it pumped, it went here, but it's obviously nowhere near to the returns that we've seen in Veracity. I'm not saying they're alike. I'm just saying they used to kind of go head to head, and people would be, in competition between these two. So there's I think TEL is just one not to fade, and if you don't have a bag, that would be where I would be thinking on the weekly, at least, time frame. Yeah, it looks good. I have a couple of other coins I didn't cover. If you're not following me, guys, in my Telegram yet, if you're not in my on my Twitter, do so, because it's just impossible to fill you in on everything that is going on in the market within an hour or an hour and a half. So much. And also, another thing is, actually, guys, just remember, you don't have to be everywhere. You don't have to be in every coin. You don't have to be in every setup. You just have to be in the ones that you think are going to give you the best returns and you have confidence in and you have conviction for. Don't follow nobody, even myself, regardless of the winning streak that we've all been on. Don't follow nobody blindly. If you don't understand this market, if you don't know what cryptocurrency is about, don't fall into a FOMO trap. Don't fall into following people blindly with your money that you've saved up and you think you're going to become a millionaire. It's a very, very dangerous trap. You want to know when to enter and when to exit, at least on the basic merit. It took me nearly 3 years, guys, to be able to get to a level that I'm confident, and I still make mistakes, but it's so many things that you see on the chart and you decide on before you enter, and to understand it and to grasp it. And I can be wrong, and I have people that have been in this market for 10 years or older or longer. They can still be wrong. It's not a case of I said something, I've been making good decisions, her next call is definitely going to be a winner. I'm not the one who decides on the market. I'm not the one who is moving the market. I can take everything I see into consideration, give you your best chances, but it's, at the end of the day, your decision and your money. And believe me, guys, protecting your capital should be your number one priority, not aping in with your highest leverage or biggest amount that you have, and just because you see a number here that says 102% or 215%, and you multiply immediately in your mind what you will be able to make. That's not how it works. That's just word to the wiser. Just to wrap it up, because this was a very, very interesting couple of weeks we're seeing, and I don't want people to start getting, you know, wrecked and thinking they're either too late or they haven't put enough, and see them lose money. Just, you know, we're trying to be wise and take our best chances. TEL, like, look guys, if it was to turn from here, and anything at the minute, if it was to turn down, you know, look at that. This is over 50% drop, and who's to say this isn't going to happen? So be wise if you're entering. Just remember, it can drop all the way down to this support. It can deviate below. Whether it's going to turn or not, it depends on the market condition, but that's the risk you have to take. Anyway, guys, it was a pleasure as always, and I'll see you around. Make sure you're in my official accounts, verify them. They're all in my bios. Don't fall for scammers, because the amount of them, and some of them actually on certain social medias, have more followers than me, and it's just very, very hard to get rid of them. So please report the people that you see and they try and ask you for monies or whatever. I don't do that. Thanks again. I'll see you around.